everyone, and welcome. I'm Ron Amlin from SBM St. Louis, and we are honored today to be speaking with Jeff Mason. He's the founder of Simple Biz 360. And Jeff is an author, he's a podcaster, and a speaker. And today we're going to talk with Jeff about one of the main concerns that business owners have, and that's how to increase customer retention and gain more referrals. So thank you for joining us today, Jeff, and welcome. Let's start out. Tell me about your background and how you help businesses.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Ron, and hello, everybody. I really appreciate the time today. And yes, so my background is I started in business in Lower Manhattan, working for a company called Lanier Business Products, spent a number of years there. Then I went into training. I was a sales trainer, and it was in somewhere around 1988 that I really got this fever, 1987, got this fever for continued improvement performance, and really started to read all I could, listen to all I could, and really captured me. And I wanted to make sure that as I went on in my career, I did everything I could to get better at what I was doing. In 1989, I was a sales trainer. I decided to write a book in 1989, so I've been diligently cataloging things and working towards that book. The book finally released last year, so it was 30 years in the making. But I worked in Manhattan for 11 years. I was in the apparel business, and I made a sales call, actually did a consulting job for a large apparel manufacturer out here in St. Louis, and they offered to have me come on as a member of their executive team. So they moved my family out here in 2000. So my family and I have been in St. Charles since 2000, and I recently, I guess in 2007, started my own sales agency. So I've been operating a sales agency now since 2007, and started writing the book 4 years ago. And so how I help people now is just through paying it forward, a lot of third-party influencers in there. And then I do a weekly podcast where I try to share 10 minutes of content that kind of zeroes in on one of the things that you can do as a business owner to improve 1% at a time.
I love it. So when we think about increasing customer retention and gaining more referrals, what are the top 5 things business owners need to consider or start doing? Yeah,
and great question, Ron. So one of the things that I've tried to do is in my venture, tried to boil business down to a simplistic route, if you will, going down to where really the roots meet the ground. And I've kind of equated a lot of this to, I love Dale Carnegie and love how simplistic he always has been. And I really wanted to hone in on that formula of simplicity. And quite honestly, so many of life's remedies are found in the simple. So I think there's 5 easy ways to answer that question. So the first thing would be just like knowing what good behavior looks like and knowing what a good company should look like, you also have to know what a not so good company looks like, or what a company looks like that's making customers unhappy. So I was fortunate in 1988 to read a TARP study that was done in 1985, and it focused on what I now call the silent business killers. And what it said was this: that 26 out of 27 companies who have a bad experience with a company will never tell that company they had a bad experience. Why is that? That consumer just does not expect anything to happen by telling. Now, 91% of those people will never come back to that organization. A good large portion of those affected will go out and tell 9 to 10 colleagues about their bad experience. And then 13% of those malcontents will tell 20 or more people. So we call it the silent business strikes. There's a lot of negative activity focused on companies that don't behave right. So just like, we know what a bad grade is and a good grade and a speed zone and not, going over, staying within the zone, we have to know what can we do to be really good at that, making customers happy. Second thing would be step in their shoes, sit in their chair. I think it's so very important for especially young businesses to understand what the perception is like from the customer vantage point. We live in, unfortunately, what we call customer perception is customer reality world anymore. And fact doesn't always matter. It's how are you being perceived by your customers. That is their benchmark, and that's what causes them to think you're a good experience or you're a bad experience. So I think it's really It's incumbent on us as business owners to make sure we understand what it's like to do business with us through that lens. And I think with that lens, what we really want to try to emphasize is that it's the experience portion of that customer relationship that really becomes the easiest to walk away from, the easiest to hurt you with, and almost the hardest to do. So the third, fourth, and fifth answers to that question, you'll see right over my shoulder here, we have what we call the 3 Why challenge, and it's saying yes to respond 100% to 100% of all inquiries, follow up, and follow through. And if you wanted to jumpstart your business tomorrow, anybody, even as you're a sales rep, you're a CEO, you're a doctor, you're a chiropractor, whatever you want to jumpstart it. Tomorrow, go to work and start responding to 100% of inquiries. I don't care how small they are, insignificant. You follow up, meaning you start building an expectation list with that customer of what you're going to do on the follow-up. But the Achilles heel in business, in my opinion, after looking at this so closely, is the follow through. It's making the rubber meet the road. That's where we as business owners, we as professionals, we as providers, we fall on our sword. We just don't do a great job of that. And so that's how I would answer that 5-prong question. And that will help you get more repeat and referral business.
I love it. And I often think of business a lot, just like weight loss. If I wanted to lose 10 pounds, in order for me to lose 10 pounds, what do I have to do? Every week I need to go to the gym 5 times a week for an hour. I need to eat a 1,200 calorie diet every day. And if I'm focused and disciplined on doing those things, I'll lose the weight. But if I'm not focused and disciplined on doing those things, then I'm going to have a hard time losing weight. And I think a lot of times with business owners, if we use that analogy, things get in the way of doing those activities that are going to drive their business. And they kind of halfway do them, or they start to do them and they move and they get, I guess, bored with it, or the results aren't what they want initially. And so they move to something else. And they never really have that focus and discipline to get the gains that they need from their business.
Absolutely correct. And so many people don't really realize that they even, can improve. And, that's a kind of a confrontational aspect of business sometimes. You want to believe that you do a professional job. You want to believe that you're good at what you do, and you don't really want to believe there's room, or you're making mistakes, or you have room for improvement, but you really do. So yeah, to your point, the diet's a great example, right? People, it's not that the diets fail, it's the people fail the diets. And if you just think of it that way, it's, we have to keep engaging in the diet for it to work. Same with making our companies better.
Yeah, and I love how you talk about follow-up. And these are things that I think any business owner can do. I'm a big believer that the game of business is a game of inches, right? It's almost like baseball. The difference between a guy hitting a home run and a pop-up to the second base is probably just, a half an inch off the barrel of the bat. And, every business owner can do these things and just be, 3% better than they were the day before and see some huge results, especially when it comes to things like following through on when your customers ask for something.
Oh, no question. And it really, if you just think of that, if you think of your own personal life and some of the things that you've purchased and some of the things that have gone awry, or some of the transactions that have not been done so well, if you really break down 3 columns, response, follow up, and follow through, I assure you that most of the time you're going to find that problem goes into that follow through column on the Excel sheet. It just, that's where we just seem to have a lot of struggles. I'll give you an example. I did a blog not too long ago called The Red Zone Tug. And it's just, it's been my experience so much in business that the ball gets on, to your point, like that second yard line. And to get that ball over the goal line sometimes takes monstrous efforts from us as the consumer, not the business. We have to tug and pull and just, yank and call and pester to get that ball across the 2 yards across the goal line. And it's just, that's where if you can do these types of things, Ron, voluntarily, the world opens up to you, and customers start to, instead of having silent business strikes where they talk about you negatively, they're talking about you positively and saying, gosh, these guys are on it. I don't have to bug them. They call me in advance. They, exercise all the right disciplines, but they follow through. And, it's so magical and so simple. And I look at those three things right there, quite honestly, as, really dirt, sun, and water to a plant. I really do. That's what you need. That's, if you just wanted to jumpstart your business tomorrow, bingo. And you know what? You're going to knock out a good portion of your competitors too, just by doing that. And, we're all trying, not trying to harm our competitors, but we're trying to win business. And to win business, sometimes the pie's only so big and we have to, eat away at the pie.
Yeah. Well, everybody's looking for an edge. I mean, there's no question about it. Let me ask you, you've gone from an executive from a larger company. Now you're out there, you're helping businesses grow, small, mid-sized businesses. What has been most rewarding about that experience, going out there and working and helping these businesses?
Yeah, it's the feedback I get. I mean, just some of the positive feedback you get. It's funny, you don't get as much feedback as you would like, and nobody does probably, but the feedback that I get, the quality of it, it really does. It makes your day. Just when you hear one good thing that you were able to help somebody in just one small way, and that's, look, I'm in the twilight of my career. My passion. I don't, I'm not out here I'm not out here to get rich and go out and get famous. I'm out here. I know hitting the pillow at night is something that is important to everybody, to hit it with a sense of peace. And there's a lot of different ways to get, peace. And I'm not saying that I'm replacing those, but if you just run your business in a way where you're going to get those easier referrals and easier repeat business, customers coming into your camp because you do things the way they like to have them done, man, you're going to sleep better at night. And that's, I've experienced it in my own life, and I want to pay it forward. And it's, I don't have all the answers, Ron. There's plenty of other quality voices. I mean, tens of thousands of them out there. I'm just one guy that's saying, I got a different approach to it. And mine is 1% of the things. And it's little tools that you can do on a daily basis. Just implement one at a time and slowly change your business around. But, it's really, so to me, somebody saying, hey, dude, I tried what you said and it worked, man, I just get a kick out of it, Ron. I puts a beat in my step and I float for a few minutes because that's what I'm doing this for.
I love it. My last question is, how can business owners get in touch with you?
Yeah. So business owners can get in touch with me. Simplebiz360.com is my website. You can get in touch with me there. You can certainly go on any social media platform, and you can, everything ends in @SimpleBiz360. So you can reach out to us that way. YouTube, we don't have our own URL yet, but YouTube, you can get through it. Just by asking for looking up for Simple Biz 360. We put all of our podcasts on YouTube, and then we're on 25 listening channels. So we just recently got put on Amazon. So we're on Amazon, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeart, you name it. And, we'll keep adding more, I would assume. But, you can listen to us there as well. And the weekly podcast comes out 7:30 every Thursday morning. And then my book is on Amazon, and the book is $18.95. And, honestly, if this is the only, the only involvement you ever have with me at $18.95, I'm a happy camper, because I know you're getting something that can go on a bookshelf and can help you and can help even generations to follow. And that's really how I wrote it, Ron, was to be a timeless manual that you could use for quite a long time. And that's so. That's on Amazon. You can go buy it through our website as well. So I said for a couple of weeks I would keep up a deal. I have a special sale for this particular network that's going to go through November 1st. So if you want, you can go on my store and you'll see SBM on there. That you just click on that. You'll get my book and a couple downloads for $15.
Perfect. And we will all check that out. Jeff Mason, Simple Biz 360, thank you very much for spending time with us today.
Thank you very much, Ron. Take care, everybody. Appreciate it.